Hello everyone. The person I'm interviewing today is someone whose movies have always given us reasons to smile, cry and have after effects after watching them. They stay in our mind and don't leave us as we leave the theatres. From Chile come to the recently released Padman, he has made his place in one of the most respected filmmakers of the current age cinema. He's the one and only Balki. Hello sir, how are you doing?
Hi.
I saw Padman and I was smitten by it. I've recommended it to so many friends of mine that you have to watch this movie, especially all the guys, and you must not miss it. So how are you feeling right now, especially after the appreciation and the compliments which you must be receiving from colleagues and from fans?
I'm so glad that a lot of families are going to watch it. I'm just happy that people are going with the whole neighbors, families and everything, and they're discussing a topic that they didn't even used to whisper, at home. They just keep it to themselves a lot of times. So I feel that's a big change. And if a film can make even 10 people do that, I think it's a huge thing.
And what is the best compliment which you received till now, after which you felt that, yeah, my motive has been successful, someone who you admire or you respect, the best compliment which you received, which you thought, yeah, I needed it from that?
Somebody asked me, how did you do this film? I said, how means how? I mean, I just did it like that. Was one of the, it's always nice to ask that. But I think one of the best statements that somebody sent to me was, we keep talking of India as, not doing this, not doing that. We have censor issues, we have this person, we are aggressive, we're that. I think we're the first country that's kind of done a mainstream film on a topic that no other country has dared to speak about. Yes. That I think is a huge sign of progression for imagine, I mean, what can be more progressive? Right. This is the first country that's dared to do this. And I think it's a fantastic example for the world.
Definitely. Also, while making the film, you were working with one of the biggest superstars of Indian cinema right now, Akshay Kumar sir, and we all are his fans. And were you also one of those who followed his work?
Of course, I love his comic timing. And I just love something about him which makes it so simple. He's quite effortless. He's fuss-free. He's very simple, he's very casual, and he doesn't think he's doing something great all the time. I like that about him, and that's why I think he was very, very much like Muruganandam for me in a lot of ways in this film.
So as a director, what did you notice in him as an actor which separates him from the rest of the clan?
He doesn't talk about acting, he just acts. He doesn't intellectualize it. He doesn't kind of, discuss something for hours and hours. Just does it. He does it quite effortlessly, quite simply, and very instinctively. And it's not that he doesn't think about it, he thinks a lot about it, but he does it privately and comes and does what he's supposed to do really well.
That's what makes him. So any major roadblocks which you faced while shooting the film?
None, actually.
No. Okay. And also you must have done your research on the film's topic and around it. Were there some things which you found shocking or made you feel bad about the present situation of women in India, or like some shocking things which girls used to do or use?
Yeah, of course we met a lot of women and all that, but most of the research has come from Muruganandam himself. Yes. And it's shocking to hear that women still use leaf, a dried leaf, ash, mud, sand, all kinds of things during their menstruation thing. To me, I was shocked at the fact that we're equating pads to a lot of other things, but not hygiene. Hygiene is the most important thing. And this whole film is just saying it's nothing more than hygiene. Why are we kind of taking it down to spaces it should not be going into?
Also, I read in a review in which someone wrote that the dialogue said by Sonam that एक औरत भी एक औरत के साथ औरतों वाली बात कर सकती है. Unders the whole point of the film in a way, and the feminist movement that all the actors in film are supposed to be about. What do you have to say about it? Do you agree with it?
It's a dialogue in a film, and in a lot of cases, I think. You need to accept the truth, and you can wish for something else. The truth is, Muruganandam's movement itself it was so successful only because he tried to use a few women, educate them, make them, and spread the movement through women, because he discovered that women find it easier to discuss these issues with women. And to me, that's the truth. It's not about feminism or masculinism. It is the truth. The truth is, so there are some issues. The moment women start discussing with other women, that's half the job. Why are you worried about who discusses? Yeah. So Sonam just speaks the truth. Here's a man who's done so much for women, but still women would like to discuss it with women. That's the truth of life. So there are some personal things, which is absolutely fine. Tomorrow, after this film, who knows? They'll want to discuss with everybody else in the world.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So, what inspires you as a filmmaker? What kind of genres, or should I say topics, which touch you or move you enough to make a full-length feature film?
It's just an idea. It just depends when you're thinking of some things. You just say that, hey, this can become an interesting story, or that can be a nice story. It's just story thoughts. There is no particular genre or particular thing that but I like to kind of make, what is so-called elitist a lot of times, very commonplace. I like to make it like as if it's, why should it be elitist? Why should anything be elite? Why should anything be only the thing why should feminism, for example, why should only few people understand it? That's why a lot of elites, when they watch some of the film, may feel that it's not treated the way they want it to be treated, but I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it cinema itself is for it's supposed to be for as many people as you can reach. My struggle has always been to kind of reach more and more people with thoughts that not necessarily reaches a lot of people. That's all.
Also, Padman is creating a huge social impact. I'm from Bhopal, and I'm seeing people, like, I was not sure that my family would go, but they went and they loved the movie. So, would you be taking more steps in making movies which are more socially relevant, like how?
See, all movies are socially relevant. They entertain the audience.
Yeah.
And I think that is a huge social relevance, because the audience is not entertained. You'll see a lot more issues in the world. Audience have to laugh, cry, feel somewhere in a theatre, which is, cinema does a huge thing. I think so, therefore the social impact in that way for all films have to be entertainment. They are supposed to do that job for the human beings. Otherwise, I think, yes, film can start moving. This particular topic is something that's been waiting for a film.
So now I'd like to play a little game with you. I'll tell you the name of some directors, and if these directors would have made Padman, what would have been the title?
Oh, I don't know that.
Okay. So first name is Karan.
Rubin chup chup ke.
Okay. Rajkumar Hirani.
Um, it may have been One Idiot.
Yeah. Right. Anurag Kashyap.
Would have been I don't know, Pink Chaddi or something. I have no idea what it is.
On point, I guess. And last one, Rohit Shetty.
What would he have made? Tiger Lakshmi or something. I don't know. What do you mean?
Okay, well done. Talking about directors, who are your top three favorite contemporary?
I like a lot of directors, they're not top three. I like films more than directors. I like a lot of films which people do.
Let's say your top three recent movies, or like top five all time. Bollywood.
All time.
If not all time, the one who contemporary.
The Tamil version of Sadma would always be my favorite film.
Yeah.
But I like a lot of films. I like, for example, that Gabricha Pos, which is a film in Marathi, which is a beautiful film, which is very underrated, which not many people have seen. Which is one of the most, Paus is a beautiful film. And then, of course, I like a lot of Marathi films. I like Nata Samrat very much. I like Death in the Gunj, which Konkana has done recently. Exceptional film. I like Aankho Dekhi, which is beautiful. I also like Rowdy Rathore, which is fantastic. I also like, what do you say? I like, I'm really dying to see a good masala film right now. But of course, I like all of Amitji's films, of all the old films. But I think one of my favorite films is Iga, Makhi.
Yeah.
And I love Rajamouli. Some of Rajamouli's work is beautiful. And Iga to me is one of the greatest films made in this country. I like Bahubali 2 very much. I really enjoyed Bahubali 2.
It's visually delight.
And it's also a fantastic time I had. It's the best masala movie I've seen in a long time. I liked Robo, the first one when it came out. I was a tripper on that. That's the Tamil version. Yeah, I like all kinds of films. I saw a recent Malayalam film with with Fazil, which it's impossible for me to get the name right. Beautiful film. I see films and all that. I saw Chumbak recently.
Okay.
It's a very interesting film. Yeah, the really what is this? Tu Hai Mera Sunday.
Oh yes.
It's a beautiful film. I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed Angry Indian Goddesses. I actually like a lot of films. I like films from all kinds of genres. And
So what do we have next in the box from you in the coming?
emptiness. I have nothing in my box. And when I write it, it'll take a little while, but then I'll do it that time.
Are you also open to doing a movie like Rowdy Rathore or like full on?
I don't have the talent for it because I believe that a film like Rowdy Rathore is far, far more difficult to make than the original. Rowdy Rathore was actually a Rajamouli film originally in Telugu. I feel that mind that works like that is whacked out, and it's fantastic to kind of entertain so beautifully and madly. It requires a very special talent, and I don't know whether I have it. I'm not sure I do. I don't think I do. But if I do ever get a thought like that, I'd love to do it.
On that note, thank you, Balki, for talking.
Pleasure.
And thank you for giving a gem like that.
Thank you. Thank you. If you like this video, please share and subscribe to Pop Diaries.